Congratulations on releasing your 20-year report this morning. What for you is the most poignant point for the African market?
I think as we look at the African market, and as we released earlier today, a little over 1,200 aircraft demand in the next 20 years, but I think is the opportunity beyond that. Tremendous amount of growth in African aviation, of African travelers. You know, in Africa, you come from the rail background. There's not a great replacement for air travel in Africa for long trips, right? There's not great road systems or rail systems for many of the destinations. So it's the opportunity to connect Africa more effectively and efficiently, allowing more Africans to travel, as well as stimulating the economies of the African countries. And the benefit that aviation can bring. I think for me, that's the most exciting part, is how we can be part of that development for Africa.
You were talking about 1,200 planes. Obviously, that's, I think, a global outlook. It's not necessarily for Africa, or is
that is specifically for African carriers. To be more specific, there will be more aircraft needed to serve the African market, but they will be some served by non-African carriers. So European domiciled, Middle East domiciled carriers. So there are more aircraft going in there that will, of course, fly to Africa. So that 1,200 number is specifically for African domiciled carriers.
The footprint that you've put down on the African continent to support from a MRO, spares, that kind of stuff, I mean, has been significant. Where do you have offices?
So we have a Boeing office in Addis, but how we support Africa as a continent is through helping customers, whether it be airlines or other entities who want to have MRO facilities, spare facilities, other support facilities. We don't have, put those in place as Boeing, so to speak, but we do support them. We also have our field service offices throughout Africa that are helping our customers to support our customers through their operations.
Okay, so it'd be like an MRO facility who wanted to be Boeing certified.
Right, we would like them to be able to, of course, service the Boeing aircraft. And different airlines will, if airlines grow in scope to a size where that makes sense, like an Ethiopian, of course, or if that's, some sort of independent service that can be provided.
You're under pressure or accountability from the airlines, be it through delays or backlogs or anything like that. And the message that came through quite clearly from all the OEMs on the stage was that you're working closely with clients. What is the step forward to kind of ease the burden? I think airlines in Africa have a much tougher operating environment than anywhere else in Europe. So as an OEM, how do you smooth that process?
I think you're right. African airlines have different challenges than maybe other regions. In terms of the global supply and demand, I would say it is a global shortage, right, that we're facing, because neither Airbus, Boeing, Embraer, altogether, we can't meet the demand that's currently exists in the market. We work closely with suppliers, we work closely internally to continue to ramp up rates in a safe and effective way, but it takes time. So in the meantime, we work with our customers to best address their needs, fully admitting that you can't fully address all the needs of the airline. So how do we find optimal solutions with them? It's often thought of as the sales and marketing teams will show up at a customer when there's a campaign. And we of course do that, but it's well beyond that. My teams are out with their customers on a weekly or monthly basis, understanding what their needs are. And these, you can imagine, campaigns only happen every so many years at best. We are really looking to support the fleet in any way possible. If that's a campaign and looking for new aircraft, let's help evaluate that and how we can best service that. If it's their day-to-day operations, if it's how do they ingest secondhand aircraft with different configurations and deploy them on the right routes, we work with airlines to do that. That is essentially free consulting, right? We have very smart teams within Boeing, within the marketing organization at Boeing and others throughout the Boeing team, commercial team, to help collaborate with the airlines to find optimal solutions. They aren't always perfect, they can't always address all the needs. Simply, across the globe, again, there's a shortage of aircraft, but working with suppliers to address that as quickly as we can.
So one of the things I'm curious about, as the new generation planes are coming in or coming off the production line, and we talk telemetry and data and condition-based monitoring. I imagine in the aviation space that it's quite sophisticated. Yes. We're only touching on it in the rail space, but I think in aviation, very sophisticated. Are you, as Boeing, collaborating with any other technology providers? Do you have a control room where all this data is coming in? How are you harnessing this data?
Especially on new products like the 787 and to some extent the 37 MAX, we have data centers that are watching the operations of the aircraft to make sure we understand what's going right and where there might be something to address. We also have entry into service teams, so if you bring on a new aircraft like a 787 into your fleet, you can imagine it's a big step change for many airlines to be able to operate this new sophisticated product. but our entry into service teams start well ahead of first delivery to make sure that they have the full training, spares, plan, all the abilities to take that data off the aircraft, and if they'd like, do more with it to help with their own operations, whether it's health management, airplane health management, or other things. Yeah, there's a lot of collaboration that goes into that, and of course we have our own suppliers for the technology on the aircraft and getting the data off the aircraft, and that's all things that we just work customer by customer to make sure that they're ready for.
And I think it's going to get more exciting as the technology develops and AI comes into it, and I assume you're playing a big role in the AI space.
We use an AI engine, but we have our own AI processes that are, of course, as you understand, most artificial intelligence, when you ask it a question, it goes out to the globe. Because of the various work that we do, we have to protect the data that we put into our own AI sphere, but we do collect data. So we do work with AI in a number of different ways across Boeing, but you have to have someone to look at that answer, because as we understand, AI can be a great tool, but you have to utilize it in the right ways.
What's next for Boeing? You've got quite a nice fleet, it's all new generation. Are there any new airlines or new technology coming through for aircraft?
We're laser focused on getting production up, right? We're laser focused on getting certification of the MAX 7, the MAX 10, and the 777X to get more of those new products out into the market to serve our customers. So that's our immediate focus, right? So that's our near-term focus, is to work on those things over the next months and years. Our product development teams are always looking at technologies that can bring benefit to the market, right? Different efficiencies, different capabilities in whatever that might be. But really, three things have to come together for that to make sense, right? You have to have enough technology in place to develop an aircraft with enough benefit that's worth the new investment, because it's a large investment not just by us, but also by an airline to take on a new product. So the market has to exist, the technology has to exist, and then we have to be in a place where it makes sense for us to develop a new product. Right now, like I said, we're focused on getting those products out the door, certified to and producing at a level to meet the demand. So that's really what our near-term focus is. There's always the product development work going on, but we're laser focused on the near term.
Coming out of Dubai Air Show, many announcements were made relating to the African continent. So what does the next kind of 6 months look like?
Always working with various customers on what they need, whether it's a formal RFP or just sometimes those aren't formal, sometimes it's a less formal process. A lot of the work now is focused on that bridge lift in the near term and how to make sure that airlines can continue to grow and sustain their fleets the way that they want. So again, it's that near-term focus on getting them to the next product, but also helping them understand that every 6 months or year or 2 years that goes by, we're going to be sold out for longer. So it gets harder and harder for them to have a robust growth plan. We never want to push them into a decision before they're ready, but especially in places like Africa where we see demand waves coming, and sometimes decisions are not made early enough, it can be difficult. To really do everything we can to get those decisions as early as possible to make sure that the African airlines get the aircraft that they need when they need them.
How's that forecasting done? Because like 2032 and the airline is here, the demand is now, so they need the aircraft now. But how are they understanding what their demand is going to be?
Yeah, there's a lot of data that goes into it. There's a lot of information out there. We have our own internal network and fleet planning teams, our own economic and financial analysis teams. We can do a tremendous amount of modeling in collaboration with the airlines, so we make sure we understand their assumptions, their growth assumptions, where they see markets. We're not an airline. We don't know the airlines as well as they, of course, know their own business. So it's a great collaboration. We bring the tools that we have, as well as that global perspective, because our teams, of course, serve all the airlines. Again, it's just that continuous understanding of what the airline needs and what we can bring to help them moving forward, and to do the best we can with making that prediction.